Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm on my phone again. I'm walking my dog.
All right, no problem, bro.
What's going on?
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is first off, fuck you, Tech. You motherfucker. I love you, bro. But I do want to clarify this. When I was talking to you, bro, I said this,
Yeah.
right? To just make sure this is clear, right? I said when I made the Captain Refrigerator joke, at the time when that word came out of my mouth, I had never seen Captain Cabinets, and it was not a fat shaming joke. Wait, let me finish. But had I known it was a fat shaming joke or a body shaming joke, I would have still done it because I
Oh,
was
absolutely.
because I was getting body shamed, with the whole, putting a wig and my red lips. So since I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
body shamed, I was still done it.
Yeah.
But I never when I initially said it, I never intended that that was going to be a body shaming joke. Like that was not my
Oh,
point.
okay.
That's what I told
Missed
you.
opportunity. Missed opportunity. Here, buddy.
But you get what I'm saying? Because I just want to make sure that's clear to everybody, bro. Um, and then
It would have been more base if you just called her fat, bro. Who cares?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if I would have known at the
Yeah.
time, since I at the time it was like, okay, I'm getting basically turned into like, I guess, gay or trans on a thing. Okay, I'm getting body shame because I got red lips. I'm gonna body shame too. If I would have known
Yeah.
that, I would have still done it. But that wasn't the original message that I sent out. And I'll
Yeah.
stand on
Go
business.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, he's just backtracking from it and he wouldn't have body shamed her. No, I would have done it had I known of it at the time because I was also getting I would have also I was also getting attacked with the same way. I don't want people to be like, oh, he's backtracking, he's scared. No, I don't give a fuck. You know me, Tech. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I was so confused when I heard that, like, oh, yeah, it was just a coincidence. I was like, really? I feel like CJ would have just called your ass fat. I
I,
feel like he just wouldn't give a fuck.
yeah, I would have done it because at that time I was like, I'm
Yeah.
getting attacked too, but it wasn't because of that. It was just like she said. I started thinking of just like I do with Saint, bro. If you look at my streams, you could probably triple digit the amount of nicknames I've given Saintontas, bro. From like Master Splinter, Ratata, Hobgoblin, bro. Everything under the
Yeah.
sun, right? So I've done
Yeah. I
this.
get you. I get you. I get
I
you.
would have done the same thing in this situation with Cap, and I was like, the first thing I was like, cabinets, washing machine, and I was like, okay, I cannot do that. That's actually bad because of misogynistic and
Yeah.
all of that. And the next thing was fridge, and I was like, oh, cool, boom. And I said it, and if you look at the video, I just kind of rolled with it. But that's one of the things that I want to make sure that is clarified. Okay, now
Sure.
there's something that I do want to really talk to you about because I think this is where the big misunderstanding is going on. And before I continue with that, I want to tell you, first off, me personally, and I'm sure a lot of other people, we ain't blaming you for anything that's involved what Saint does, what I do, or what nobody else does. So if you say something on your stream, for example, when you and I had our call, and then Saint Tontus grabs that shit and turns it into a ammo to use against me, that's not on you. That's not on you. Just making sure that that is put out there, like with the comment where you said something about like if he were to off himself, if he turns that into ammo, that's not you. You're free to say whatever you want, just like I'm free to say
Yeah,
whatever I want.
he's because he's gonna twist pretty much anything into whatever at this point. And to be honest, the worst thing is that's why I feel like Kate should have understood what she did because she did the exact same thing Saint did, which is she told me that my joke doesn't matter that it's a joke because I still said it, and it's like, brother, you are twisting the context of that entirely. Obviously, I know that nobody is telling Saint to kill himself,
Okay.
which really blew my mind that she did not understand how different that was.
Okay, so now here's where I want to talk about two specific things regarding this whole shitstorm that's been going on. Because we all know, first off, it's stupid, right? We've all said this from the start. But here's what two things that I'm not gonna sit with anymore. First off, the whole concept of this being about gacha or that it started about gacha, that's never
Dark Knight
been the
Central
case.
drama.
Yeah, that's never been the
Yeah.
case. I made one video
Yeah.
disagreeing with his takes about gacha. I'm Hitler,
Yeah.
right? It's that simple, right?
Yeah.
And from there, it just opened the door for me to talk about everything that has been going on for months, like the allegations towards genocide, the constant attacks towards other CCs, where they'll say one thing in a video game and get 7 videos made out of them from being called like you look like a rat, like these same jokes that I use at Saint Tontas. he's used towards other people, right? Like painting out people as if they were like fucking Hitler. So all of that is the reality of why we are here, not about a gacha game, right? That's the one thing I want to make sure people understand. The second thing is we're all taking part in escalating this situation. So to a certain degree, when it all started, we were all taking part in escalating it, right? You throw a jab at me, I throw a jab at you. But just like you said on stream, Tech, someone will tell Saint he's wrong, he'll call them a pedophile. You getting told you're wrong is not escalating things. You getting called a pedophile is escalating things. Right?
Sure.
So if you look at the last few videos I've done, apart from this shit with Cap's thumbnail, it was never about, I'm going to make this dude want to off himself, I'm going to destroy his career. It was literal memes, bro. Shit posting. And it's literal shit posting with like funny screenshots and like stupid shit that doesn't escalate anything. Just like how he made a video saying that, oh, I live with my mom, and I was rage baiting him in the chat. And you live with your mom, she makes your food, you make $150 a month. And I like that shit, Tech. I appreciate banter and shit talking. That doesn't escalate anything. Yep. But when I make a video like that, and the very next day Saint goes live and says, yes, CJ supports doxing. And I showed you the message. Someone posted about, Saint got posted in Kiwi Farms, and I said, what the fuck is Kiwi Farms? Someone said,
Sure. So the proper verbiage would be everyone's perpetuating, but Saintontas is escalating.
There you go. That's exactly what I mean. Everyone's perpetuating the whole shit that's going on, but Saint is the only one that's escalating because you call him a goblin, he calls you a pedophile. Like, that's my take regarding that whole shit. And it's gone too far, bro. Let me ask you something, Tech, regarding this particular subject.
Yep.
You've seen my thumbnails, right?
Yep.
When you looked at my thumbnails, you fucking died. Them shits are funny.
Oh, bro. They are hilarious.
Them shits are funny. They're shit posting thumbnails. From those thumbnails, excluding the fucking Epstein one, which we have explained why that was a showage of the mirror, bro, right? We have Cum Dumpster, It Hurts to Walk, the one where he's a baby, where he's sucking off Kuro, which, by the way, I got inspiration from you when you said Saintontas sucks the long dick of Kuro, so that's where I got the inspiration from that thumbnail, right? When you look at that, oh, he got slithered in, and that was from Gacha Smack doing him as Harry Tontas. When you look at all those thumbnails, they're funny thumbnails. Everybody laughs apart from the dude obviously getting put on the goddamn thumbnail.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right? So we've all said that shit. That's funny. Tech, during this whole, like, shitstorm, I've never once been off edge. I've never been pissed. I've never been annoyed. It's always been fun and giggles. I was on stream yesterday, and I get a message sent to me, like, live on stream. And we all know that Cap just got doxxed, right? This is not about show proof.
Did she?
But hold on. This is not about showing proof. This is not. It's simple that if you're on stream or on social media, and someone that you don't know sends you a message with your name and address, that shit is gonna be scary, bro.
It's scary as fuck. I've gotten those many times.
Yeah, we can both agree to that shit, right? So that happened where she went and talked about it yesterday. She was crying on stream, bro.
Yeah.
And I figured, you know what, Saintontas, I had just dropped a video about Saintontas titled, Saintontas dropped a video about me saying I live with my mom, and he put a McDonald's edit on the thumbnail, so I dropped the edit on it, and it was like, I figured he was just going to ignore Cap because she's going through some shit, and he was going to come at me, which was fine, great, cool. The very same stream that shit happens, bro, he goes off at her once again, and by the end of towards the end of my stream, I get sent a thumbnail that says she belongs in jail. We all want Saint to F himself with an edited message, like a doctored message. She never said we all want. It's very different when I put him on a thumbnail that says it hurts to walk or Cum Dumpster, to putting her on a thumbnail that says we all want Saint to F himself, to kill himself, and she belongs in jail. That's like a whole nother fucking level of whatever this is, right? And I think the reason that people reach out to you, it's not.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting talked to by so many motherfuckers right now, bro. I've been like bouncing in on calls like fucking every hour of the day, and I'm like, Damn, bro, what?
Bro, look, I know it's a pain in the ass, bro, but you gotta understand the entire gotcha community literally sees you. You know the joke, bro. You're Saint's father, bro. Like
Of
that.
course,
That's
of
why
course.
everybody reaches out to you like that. And I've
Yeah,
stated, I know that you call out Saint, like, oh yeah, Saint is stupid, Saint is dumb, he goes too far sometimes. I know you've done that, right? I when people say you absolutely completely bat for Saint, I don't think that's true. I do think that there are certain things that need deeper calling out. Let me just give you an example. Put yourself in this situation that Cap is going through where it says she belongs. And I mean, motherfucker, you've been in this situation because people do this
of
shit about
course.
you,
Many
right?
times, many times.
And they grab a message saying that you said you want someone to off themselves and that you belong in jail, right? You have gone through this type of shit.
Of course.
You don't think that that's a whole nother level of escalation, that it's not just, you don't just need to say, yeah, he's dumb or he's doing too much. Like, this is where you gotta say, like, bro, you gotta quit your bullshit. Not telling you what to say, just saying this is what people kind of expect to hear, because he uses this type of stuff because he knows that to a certain degree he feels, or the community feels, that you're backing him up on whatever he's doing, whether you are or not. I don't know. They don't know. You
Mm.
could be telling him, in messages, yo, don't do this. But it's the fact that he still sees everything as I gotta beat everybody. And it's like, bro, if you want to banter, you want to shit talk, go ahead and do it.
Well, here's the problem, because I hear what you're saying, and I do want to say I agree. The problem is Kate also said when Saintontas got doxxed that he shouldn't have talked about it on stream, and he should have ended immediately. Right. So
Yeah.
there wasn't any, there wasn't sympathy going out one side, and like there's fuck ups for both parts. Like, one, you can't just go offline when people are trying to silence you. And that's exactly what this is, right? So Kate making the comment that he should have just ended, why is he even talking about this, just really isn't a good call. And perhaps I'm paraphrasing. That wasn't the direct quote. I'm sure you're more familiar with the direct quote. I'm
Yes.
sure you remember this comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask
Yeah.
you two things regarding this. The first one is, before we go into anything else, right?
Yeah.
You know that she showed proof to a certain degree that she got doxxed live on stream, right?
I've seen conflicting screenshots right now. Once again, I don't care whether someone has or hasn't been doxxed. I'm
Yes.
not here to fact check that.
Yeah,
The fact that it's
absolutely.
even being humored right now is enough for me to just, that's the reason why I made the post. So I
Yes.
just want to move the fuck on. Like, whether Saint got doxxed, whether Cap got doxxed, I've seen conflicting images of both.
Okay.
I don't care whether it's real or not. I don't think it should be happening to anybody, to be
No,
honest.
absolutely. It should not be happening to everybody, to anybody. What I want you to understand is Saintontas, I don't, once again, just like you, I don't care. I don't need to know. I don't need proof. That's just stupid. Yo, yeah, show me proof you got doxxed by doxing yourself. Like, that's stupid, right?
Yeah.
The messages from Saint where he's blaming us for supporting him getting doxxed was from a week ago when someone posted his channel on Kiwi Farms. At that time, I don't know now. I don't care. Like, just like you, I don't care. At that time, he hadn't gotten doxxed. And all people said was, oh, he got posted on Kiwi Farms. Laugh my ass off. I didn't even, bro, I'm gonna be real, Tech. I don't know what the fuck. Kiwi Farms, Peach Farms, fucking Strawberry Fields. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I didn't know. So all
Yeah.
I said was, what the fuck is Kiwi? That's it. And he's using those messages to paint us as supporters of doxing. So that's the point
Well,
where I'm like,
I guess the problem is that the way that I got doxxed was also by being posted on Kiwi Farms.
absolutely, and I get
And
it.
it started off with a simple YouTube video, and then it just ramped up and ramped up and ramped up. You really don't want the attention of that website
No,
whatsoever.
absolutely. And bro, I hadn't even talked about it, like exposed it, showed it in a heavy degree on my channel. All I said in one video was like, bro, you even got posted on Kiwi Farms. Because people were saying to me, it was like a where they post lol cows. To me, that shit's just memes. I don't know. But now that I know the context of it, yesterday on stream
Yeah.
or the day before. But yeah, that's one topic. So that's the thing that I'm not gonna let him run with, the narrative of us supporting doxing because we asked what the fuck is Kiwi Farms or said laugh my ass off. That's the first thing that I really want to make sure is clear. Now the second thing is
Sure.
what you just touched up on. Would you agree that if you're getting attacked, like Saint got attacked while he was on stream, the right answer is staying online to show that you're not faced by what they're doing.
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time? My dog was taking a shit. Can you repeat that?
So yeah, if you're streaming and they just
If I'm
attacked
streaming.
your Discord, no, I'm saying like
Yep.
if you're streaming and you
Yep.
get attacked on Discord, the right course of action is staying on the stream to show that you're not affected by it and handle it with a cool level head, right?
Yeah. I mean, in case you don't know, I mean, I got raided literally 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
I didn't even
Well, that's
notice.
fucked up.
I was like,
I
oh
mean,
no, I don't care. My mods, they press a button, everybody's gone. Just go boop.
there you go.
It's
So
easy.
you handle it
Yeah.
with a cool level head. So the idea is if you're getting raided or attacked on Discord, you stay online and handle it and show your emotional stability that you're not affected by it. You handle it, you tell your chat, guys, we're gonna handle this real quick. Don't worry about it. This some little petty shit. We got this. Don't worry. You message your mods,
Yeah.
boom, get that. That's the right thing and the right advice to someone that stays online. Now,
Of course.
if you're
I
gonna get
understand not everybody can do that.
exactly now, if you get attacked
Yeah.
and your first reaction is to start crashing out, blaming everybody, escalating what's going on right there, that is just as bad as getting off the stream. You're giving them the attention and giving them exactly what they wanted, which is to cause a bad reaction from you. So when some of these people, like for example Cap or Pixel Tree, told Saint when he was out here blaming us, like straight up said, I don't blame anybody directly apart from Cap and CJ. When you're blaming us for being involved in CP, bro, and someone tells you maybe you need to get the fuck off stream because you're saying shit that's incriminating and it's making things worse. I don't think it's fair to say that those people are trying to like attack you, destroy you, or showing no sympathy. I think at that point they're maybe telling you, yo, cool off, handle the shit, maybe relaunch the stream in an hour or two, right? Maybe.
Sure. I just think I think the issue is right now is that there's obviously a right way to handle it. And I want to make one thing that I think is pretty fair. I have not asked a single person for an apology since the beginning of this. And the
Yeah.
reason why that is because emotions are very high right now. There's a certain understanding that everyone has to have of people are going to handle certain situations differently. Kate is under a immense amount of emotional duress. She will not admit it. Saintontas is underneath an immense amount of emotional duress. He will not admit it. And the problem is that I'm sure you've seen this clip. Captain Cabinets had accused me of grooming smaller CCs to be my allies. That's a clip she said on stream. She said, now Saintontas is going to do what Tectone did, which is groom an army of smaller CCs to defend him online. That's a clip. You can find it.
No,
Now,
I've
did I
seen it. I've
crash
seen that
this?
thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I feel about that in a second. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Didn't crash out on her. Didn't ask her to apologize. I just asked for clarification because I understand she's underneath a large amount of mental duress. People are going to handle that differently. The reason why I crashed out on stream is because I'm attempting to be as forgiving and as understanding as humanly possible for people's actions when they're underneath a large amount of stress. It's incredibly hard. It's very hard because what I want to say is, you did this, you're retarded, fuck you. But the problem is that's the easy route right now, and that's a route that I've taken for a very long time. And I'm really trying to give everybody just the, hey man, you're being a little bit dumb right now. I understand why you did it. Let's not do it again in the future. And we're getting to the point, that was the point, where I can no longer stomach the amount of stupid shit that's happening. But yes, I do believe that the way that people are handling things right now, I understand why these things happen. I understand. You don't understand. And I'm not trying to humanize people, but like, I understood immediately why Cap said that because she's afraid. She wants to draw a parallel because she, in her mind, has a quote unquote crazy guy that's destined to ruin her career. And so I get why she said it. She wanted to make it clear that the person who's attacking her is the bad guy. That way, nobody thinks she's the bad guy. Just in the same vein, Saintontas has, what is it, 15? I don't know, 2,000? Well, who knows what the number is? A large amount of people coming at him every single day when in his mind, he has done nothing wrong besides defend himself. And the problem is that when you're in a situation like Saintontas, and I get it, misplays are going to happen and people are going to hyperfixate on those misplays. The misplays, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to ask you two things. First off, and it's very important that I get these two things out. First off, when Cap said what she said, right?
Yep.
The one you're talking about, right? Did
Yep.
she or did she not reach out to you that same exact day to explain herself and apologize and explain what she meant with that message?
No, I reached out to her.
Okay, you reached out to her. Perfect. But you still talked. You both talked it out. She explained what she meant. I don't really know the details of the conversation. All I know is you guys talked, right? I'm sure she explained herself or maybe apologized. I don't know, right?
Hold up. I reached out immediately because I didn't want to, say anything crazy because the clip just looks so bad. Let me check here real quick. Um, oh God, I don't think I can actually find it. Oh wait. Oh, well, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So I reached out and no, there was no apology, but she explained what she said and I reached out. Yeah. So
Okay.
I reached out. There was no apology. She clarified her stance.
She clarified what she meant. Okay. Were you and her cool after this? Like, would you
Oh,
say
I'm cool with everybody.
perfect? Great. Okay. Here's the difference, brother. You and her talk, and if you and I have a misunderstanding, if you and someone else has a misunderstanding, you will at least talk to each other to explain each side. Saintontas will call someone, a person that supports doxing because of a message like the one you saw that that shit is as far-fetched as can be. People will tell him, I will tell him, other people will tell him, you've said it, bro, you were the one that told me, yeah, you got to clarify that message because that is crazy that, the whole being blamed as supporting doxing. And he'll go on the next day, double, triple, and quadruple down. Like, at what point do we hold them accountable for, like, just as you say, some people, emotions and all of that, they're heightened, they're out of touch with what's going on. But at what point do we say, okay, you either got to step the fuck down and calm down, go, take a walk or something, but you can't keep doing that. Everybody, bro.
So
Mr. Pokey did
I
a
mean,
thumbnail. Hold on, this is very important.
yeah, sure, sure.
Mr. Pokey did a thumbnail, right? We've all seen the thumbnail, right?
The rape one.
I'll give you what you said. People can look at that thumbnail and assume that Saintontas is being labeled as the rapist, the person that's done all these things, the person that's, those titles are getting put on him. They could assume that absolutely from that thumbnail. The context of the video is the things that he's called us CCs. Not saying that it makes the thumbnail correct. It still leads people to assume those things. But within the context of the video, it's explaining that that's what Saintontas calls us. Not only that, Mr. Pokey changed the thumbnail to make sure that there was no chance for misinterpretation of what's being said within the video, right? And at no point, right, did he doctored any messages that were sent? Did he do any of that, right? When you look at and like I said, he changed it. I don't know if you know this. It's on my video that I dropped today. Saintontas changed his thumbnail / title 6 times. And each time it progressively got worse. The first thumbnail that he dropped didn't have the whole we want him to F him or, kill himself thing. That wasn't even in the first thumbnail, bro. Then he changed it 6 times. And we know A/B testing only got 3. He changed it 6 times, bro. To continue escalating to the last one where it was pretty much, in big old letters saying that with Cap's face on it that, oh yeah, we want him to kill himself. That is, bro, that doesn't leave room to interpretation. That's not like Pokey's thumbnail that you could say, is he implying that Saint is a rapist? No, that's a message, a doctored message saying that we want Saint to F himself, that Cap wants to,
I think we have a very different perspective because I think Pokey's thumbnail is infinitely worse. I don't feel comfortable anybody putting my face on a thumbnail with the word rape and racist and homophobic right next to it. I just this is a point where I cannot agree with. I think anybody who is so fucking stupid that they would put, like, think about this. If they were to put a thumbnail of your face and right next to it put rape, I would not. You have to be the dumbest Neanderthal knuckle-dragging retard to be that stupid to do that.
Let me ask you a question
Sorry.
regarding that though. Right?
Yes. Yeah, that one is so insane to me.
Let me
Because the
ask you a
problem is
question.
everybody was like, "Oh, Mr. Pokey's dumb." I forgive him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So regarding this, yes, like I said, when you get a thumbnail with your face with the word rape and all of that on it, it can lead to the interpretation that that's what you are, right? We can both agree on that, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't
Okay,
know what else
absolutely.
somebody would think if
Yeah,
they were to see
that's
that.
absolutely, it leaves a room for interpretation on that, right? Now, like I said, it leaves the room for interpretation. Thus, Captain Cabinet's or Saintontas' thumbnail leave room for interpretation. The one that
Uh,
says we want Saint to kill himself, then we'll be happy, as if it was a message, a doctored message. Like right there. It doesn't say edited. It doesn't say it's a reply. And you know why I know this? Because he then changed it to show that it was a reply. After this was up for like 2 hours, bro. There is no room for interpretation. It's just as
sure.
clear as it
The
is.
playing devil's advocate, as I often try to do, the phrase "we want him to kill himself" is so washed out in 2026. It leaves interpretation for, do they actually want him to kill himself, or is it metaphoric? Like people say, kill yourself. Everybody says this, right? So that's the thing, is there is interpretation for, do they mean that, or do they mean metaphorically? Like when I say go fuck yourself, does that mean I want you to go fuck yourself? No. I'm just doing the same thing that we're kind of doing with Mr. Pokey here. So
Okay.
in my opinion, I think both are bad, to be honest.
Okay, but now once again, if we add the whole context to both, let's add the whole context to the thumbnails, the titles, and the videos. How about that? Let's do that to give the whole context, right? Like let's pretend we're looking at it. We're trying to give them, like you say, devil's advocate. Let's see what the fuck each one of these two videos are about. We grab, both have fucked up thumbnails and fucked up implications. We grab, Pokey's video with a fucked up thumbnail. We look at it and it's an explanation showing everything Saint has said with evidence, clips, everything. Thumbnail still fucked up. That doesn't change the thumbnail. But that's the context behind that video. We grab Saint's video. We want him to kill himself, call the police, and within the video, Tech, if you look at my video, he said, I could pull up my video right now. Within the video, he goes up and says, it's literally, let me bring this back a little bit, because it's on my video from yesterday, bro. He says, is it this one? Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure it's this one over here, right here. If you thought the thumbnail was fake, the thumbnail where it says that Captain Cabinet said we want Saint to kill himself, he says, if you thought it was fake, check this timestamp. So he's doubling down on the fact that the thumbnail is real, which is going to lead your audience to believe that she said, not as just a joke, yeah, fucking go kill yourself, but as an actual thing, especially when the title of the video is call the police and she belongs in jail. That goes so far beyond being called a fucking cum dumpster, Tech. Like, being called a cum dumpster.
Once again, I don't think you calling saying a cum dumpster by any means is bad. I don't care. I'm just comparing the Mr. Pokey rape thumbnail to the Saintontas, the kill yourself thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other problem is that Kate should have never sent that message in the Discord to begin with. To imply that that joke was serious is just a little bit cringe, which I already told Kate about this, which she fought me on, but that's okay. But yeah, man, I mean, obviously, like, nobody should be doing this shit, man. And that's what I've kind of been saying since the beginning, is that people just need to fucking drop this shit. Out of curiosity, if you were to ask Saintontas and tell me this, because I'm going to be talking to Saintontas tomorrow on stream. If there's 3 things you would want me to ask Saintontas, write them down and I'll ask him. Because at this point, I've already condemned all bad options, all bad actions. But I keep on being told these things that I already know that have happened. And I'm still wondering, what is it that people want from Saint and what is it that people want from me? because I'm still confused about exactly like. I mean, I get it. Saintontas has done fucked up stuff. I get it. Kate's done fucked up stuff. I get it. Mr. Pokey's done fucked up stuff. Everybody's kind of fucked up, right? But like,
Yeah.
what do we want to have happen? Because I'm just wondering, like, telling me about this shit doesn't really do anything. Like, why aren't we just reporting this to like YouTube and just marking it as harassment? That's kind of what I'm like. I feel like this drama, quote unquote drama, that's escalated into so much more than it should have been. It's just nonsensical at this point because like it just feels like baboons going at each other. I'm starting to lose my fucking mind. I've heard the same talking point so many times about to drill a fucking nail gun through my skull, bro. I'm just like, what do we want to do? How do we resolve this? This is day 24.
Okay.
So
I wanna ask you
my
one
question to you,
thing.
what do you want to have happen?
Okay, this is the second part of that long ass question I just asked you, which is earlier you said everybody in their mind thinks they haven't done anything wrong when you were talking about Saintontas. Like he thinks he hasn't done anything wrong, right?
Yep.
Now, you could say, CJ, your thumbnails could have been fucked up. They're funny as fuck, but they could have been fucked up, right? You could tell the same thing to Cap regarding what she does. But let's be like, if we're bro, it's not about playing devil's advocate. It's about keeping it a stack. When you point your fingers at me, not you, just people in general, you could say your thumbnails are fucked up, CJ. You called him a 3'5", 48-year-old hobgoblin, right? When you look at that and that's what you can point at me, oh, you put him on a thumbnail with Epstein. Yeah, he has videos. We all know that. He has videos with Epstein's blah, 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 or a video, right? But then you point your finger at Saintontas and you said, you've insinuated people are pedophiles. You've insinuated people are convicted criminals for going to court. You've insinuated people are racist, alcoholics, homophobic, and the list goes on and on. Support doxing, could be involved or promoting CP raids on Discords. When you add that list to and you compare it to anybody else involved, could we really say everybody is equally in the same position here, equally wrong?
So what you're saying is that everybody's done bad, but Saintontas has done the most bad.
But it's not what I'm saying. I'm asking, do you think that statement is correct?
Oh, I don't believe I've ever said everyone has done equally bad. I believe I've said everyone has done bad.
So you do think Saint has done way worse than anybody else in this situation?
In specific, let me ponder upon this. The issue is, and you have to understand why I understand Saint's position so much, is because I've been in that position. No one is dealing with more people than Saintontas is. No one. The amount of mental stress on him is more than everyone else. So am I truly shocked by the actions that he's taking? No, not particularly. But
yeah, go ahead.
It's like, how does Saint survive? Think about this. Take yourself out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
How does Saint win against 16 people coming at him every single day? How does he do it?
Now, let me ask you something to answer your question. We go back to the first question I asked you. Is we can both agree he's doing worse than everybody else in this scenario, right? You just said the why he could be doing it. The mental stress, the fact that he feels attacked by everybody. But that doesn't change the fact. You and I can both agree he's done far worse to everybody else, right?
Let me put this on a tier list. That'll make it easier. Let me answer that specifically. Do I think Saintontas has done the worst out of everybody in this situation? That was your direct question?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Okay. Who would you
I
say
believe Mr. Pokey has done the most damage out of anybody.
Okay, now let me ask you why. In regards to Pokey-Tontas, right?
Sure. So I put Mr. Pokey at an S tier. Mm-hmm. I put Saintontas at an A tier. I put Kate as like a C tier. I put you in like an F tier.
Okay. I haven't done shit.
Itoma's also at an F tier, right? So F tier is the lowest tier, by the way. I think the most disgusting thing that I've seen is people calling Saintontas a rapist Saintontas asking for that to be taken down, and Mr. Pokey respond with a gonna cry emote on Twitter, um, as well as attempting to act morally virtuous in that situation, as well as abusing the copyright law to falsely copyright strike someone's channel, going directly after their livelihood. I believe that is the most wrong in this situation from all parties.
Okay, now let me ask you something real quick, Tech.
Yep.
I don't know if you're probably not watching my stream, right?
No, I don't give a fuck. I
Perfect.
don't
Yeah,
care
me
what chat
neither.
says. I don't care.
I don't
Yeah.
care about what's going on in the chat. I want you to understand one thing regarding the whole, and keep in mind, I had never, ever, not once talked to Mr. Pokey before any of this happened, and I've barely still spoken to, like, bro, I've spoken to people on the most superficial levels, right? So I want you to understand that,
Sure.
okay?
Sure.
I just sent you a thing. This is what I've been getting called for the past probably 2 weeks. On my videos, on my comments, on Twitter.
Let me see. Let me read this.
Actually getting called that, right? For 2 weeks.
The jobless rapist.
Yes. Now.
Is it Friday? I said, yep.
Now, at any point have I blamed Saintontas and said he's the one calling me a jobless rapist, despite the fact he's insinuated? Have I blamed him for his community calling me a jobless rapist? And I've been getting called this for the past 2 weeks, ever since he specifically said on stream, oh yeah, you're graping me. Yeah, you basically graped me on the thumbnails now. What I want you to understand is, if we look at what Mr. Pokey did, which was indirect comparison, I want you to understand I'm not batting for Mr. Pokey, and I'll say now in front of the whole chat, not that I care what they're saying, I don't give a fuck about any content creator other than myself, and that's it. Like, I speak for me, and everybody can defend themselves and speak their own mind, right? When Saintontas has propagated these types of insinuations towards me, by his own insinuations from his community, he continues to double and triple down every day on stream, and someone comes out and says, hey, you're calling them a rapist. Mr. Pokey never directly, with his video and his thumbnail, directly called Saintontas a rapist. He just
the issue is that Mr. Pokey's not a direct guy, because the exact same thing he did to Saintontas is what he did to me. So we can't guilt and we can't praise Mr. Pokey for being snide and underhanded, and we can't guilt Saintontas for being direct. It's two different ways people operate. Like with Saintontas, if he doesn't like you, you're going to know that he doesn't like you immediately. With Mr. Pokey, he's going to act cool with everybody and then shit talk them behind the scenes and get his community to shit talk them for him without him dirtying his hands. They operate very differently. That's the difference between these two people.
No, and I could understand where you're coming from, but if we're basing Mr. Pokey's worst action, which is insinuating, if we could say that Saintontas is a rapist, that insinuation comes from the fact that Saintontas has actually called other people rapists. So if we're going back to the tier list, if Mr. Pokey is at S tier for insinuating Saintontas is a rapist, we can't not put Saintontas at S tier.
It's for the false copyright strike, not the rape.
Okay, so we go back to the false copyright strike, and you know my stance on that, and why I don't care about Saintontas getting a strike. Even though I don't support strikes, I don't have sympathy towards Saintontas. You and I talked about this the other day when I showed you my
talked about this, absolutely.
diploma. Yeah, so this is why, if we go back to it, if we're gonna put people in these tiers, if we're gonna put Pokey in there for the copyright strike, we could say, we can compare a copyright strike to the allegations. Bro, let's be honest. How long has Jenna been getting called a pedo by so many people because of those allegations? That's fucked, bro. You know how many copyright strikes I've gotten in my channel over the course of like my 8 years of making content? Being a failure, Tech, fuck. But you know I've gotten many strikes, bro. And they go away after 3 months, and I'm fine. And I've always been a little ass creator. Saintontas would have been fine with that copyright strike. And not only
the problem is that Mr. Pokey has admitted publicly he was attempting to do 3 at the same time, but he fucked up.
You know who also attempted? They wanted to get me 3 video takedowns at once to get my channel deleted on video, on clips. You've seen it.
I'm gonna guess by the way that you're talking. I'm gonna guess Saintontas.
Saintontas. He's specific, word for word, bar for bar. I could fill out some forms to get 3 video takedowns at once, and his channel would be gone. And I might
Right,
just do that.
but I think the difference is he didn't do that, whereas Mr. Pokey did do that.
But now here's the thing, Tech. We wouldn't even be able
Sure.
to have this conversation if he would have done that, because I would have been banned, right? So the intention.
We can still talk. We can still talk on Discord. Well, no,
yeah.
the big difference is like that's like saying someone who thinks about killing someone is as bad as someone who's killed someone. The difference is Mr. Pokey actually did it. Saintontas didn't do that.
Now here's the thing, though. He filed a copyright strike over a different issue than what Saintontas tried to do to me. But Saintontas did file complaints, or he could say it was his audience. I don't fucking know. Point is, I did have to literally sit with YouTube support, talking to them, explaining them. In that, I showed you the message, bro, where I had to tell them and explain why my thumbnails were the way they were and what my titles and videos were the way they were. And if that thing would have escalated more, I could have gotten a strike for that, or maybe just a harassment thing. I don't know what happens when you get like
you would just I get like 3 of those every week, man. They just take down the thumbnail and they might private the video.
Okay,
that's it.
So moving away from the whole tier list and the whole ranking of this from a YouTuber perspective, right? From the side of business, you could say Mr. Pokey did worse. I'll give you that. You could say that because of the strike. Okay.
You know what's really fun? This is like this feels like a conversation of like, who's worse, Osama bin Laden or Adolf Hitler? You're defending Osama bin Laden.
No, look. No.
It's like, holy fuck.
No, look. We can all agree, everybody. There's a lot of people that are pieces of shit in this conversation, right? In this whole situation. But what I'm trying to get at with this whole thing is that if we stick strictly to what's going on, for example, did you know that for about a week and a half, Pokey hadn't said shit about this whole situation towards Saintontas, anything at all? And before
that's because he's a pussy.
Or maybe no, because Saint hadn't brought him up either. Nobody had brought each other up. Pokey was doing his own thing. Saint was doing his own thing, right? Saint was dealing with our shit. I don't know what the fuck Pokey was doing, but they were all doing their own thing. Out of nowhere, on one stream, Saintontas goes and says he's talking shit about me, about Cap, about the usual suspects, and then he goes and says, Pokey has learned. Don't quote me on the exact words, but he says something along the lines of, Pokey will not mention my name. He's like a good dog, or like he's scared to say my name. He's learned his lesson to never say my name, right? And he talks shit about him. That was before the Simon document. And then the Simon document dropped, and he attacked Pokey mid-shitstorm with what's going on with all these other CCs, as you say, attacking him and him being mentally unstable because of so many people trying to dunk on him. So Pokey came out and replied, right? Whatever happened on the YouTube side.
Hold up, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Mr. Pokey make an entire video called The Art of Gacha War where he actually was too afraid to say his name?
I haven't watched the video, but yes, I've seen the other people reaction, including yourself, when you looked it up. I believe he does talk about Gacha War, Saintontas, and I mean, Tech, who's the biggest person always in a war with creators in the gacha space right now?
Me.
It ain't you, motherfucker. You're doing other shit, bro. What are you talking about? I was old you, but right now it's Saint, right?
Yeah. So, sure, yeah, of course, yeah.
So I get that. And even to that degree, right, we go back to like, okay, Pokey made one video about Saintontas. Saintontas has made 24. And we're not trying to defend the greater of the two evils in this scenario, but I also don't want to go away from the fact that the reason people reach out to you, Tech, is because they know that one, well, you're his father. I know you might not like the joke at this point.
I believe I'm everyone's father, to be honest.
So here's the thing. It's not that they want you to do it, but they expect you. Just how we're talking here, and we can agree, okay, yeah, he called you a cum dumpster, you called him a fucking rapist. You gotta chill the fuck down. Like, you're doing too much. And they want you to say these things, if that's what you feel like, of course, in a more serious tone.
But I've already said that.
Yeah, but Saint still pulls up your stream your stream and strokes himself thinking that you're still glazing him and saying he's right at everything he does. Like, he'll do it live on stream, start giggling and twiddling his thumb in his butthole, talking about, oh yeah, I love Tech, look, he bats for me, bro, because the other day you and I were talking, right? At night we were talking, and we were talking shit, and you made the joke about it's been 8 years, bro, you gotta figure something out, right? And that's the type of shit you and I were talking. You said that shit on stream because shit talking is something you could do with people, and people ain't gonna fucking like trip out. He pulled that shit up and starts laughing at it. How, oh yeah, look, Tech's on my side because he's shitting on CJ. And it's like, bro, everything, once again, you say what you say, but I feel that that's the type of situation where he like strokes himself thinking that, oh, clearly Tech is not calling me out on my bullshit. And I feel that that's what people want to see. Just how you could call me out on my bullshit, you call out Pokey on his bullshit.
I just believe, I truly believe that just like I've called out Cade, I've called out Mr. Pokey, I've called out you, I've called out Saintontas. I believe I've already done that. And I'm curious because once again, out of all the behavior that Saintontas has displayed that has been deemed, not well. I mean, how many times have you heard me tell, Saintontas that he needs to apologize to Genocide? I mean, I've said that all the fucking time. I don't believe there's anything I can do to satiate this. There's like this idea that I need to like publicly damn Saintontas for these wrongdoings, and I'm just gonna be dead ass. Like, I have no interest. I have no interest in. You don't understand. You've been very good to me, Skull.
Yeah.
You have. Kate's been very good to me. Saint has been very good to me. I've lived a life where having people who have had my back before is so rare to me.
Absolutely.
It is so rare for someone to actually have my back. I've been backstabbed by everybody. I understand everybody has flaws. Everybody does fucked up shit, I mean, like, I'm good friends with Asmongold as well. Asmongold's done some fucked up shit. I have held all of these people accountable. But to publicly, because I think what people want me to say is that I no longer fuck with this guy. He's the worst piece of shit.
No.
I really do. I think that's the only thing that's going to quell these people's bloodthirst. And I'm just giving a spoiler. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to do that to Kate. I'm just not.
No, I absolutely agree with you on that. And I've said this on my own stream. I've said, Tech is friends with these people. I don't expect them. They're not attacking him. They're not out here going at his person. So I don't expect him to be like, yeah, just fuck Saintontas, fuck. Like, I don't expect that at all, right? I feel that it's more so like, if you, as the bigger creator, and if you're put in a position that people think that people like Saintontas respects you, right? If you're telling this dude, hey, maybe stop with the shit about Genocide, right? For example, just throwing one example, and then Genocide comes out and says, I think Saint is wrong, and he calls him a pedophile. At that point is more so like, okay, like, Saint, you gotta, like, in a more serious tone, right? Where, like,
but the thing is, he's not my kid, he's really not. Like, he's not my fucking kid.
Are you sure?
I'm not the guy to give him a spank on the ass. Like
Yeah,
I literally said so many times, just fucking leave Genocide alone.
Yeah, no,
I can't.
I absolutely
I
have said that.
Yeah, I've said it so many fucking times. And it would be so good for his PR. But the thing is, Saintontas did attempt to apologize. And Genocide, if Genocide could have just swallowed his pride and accepted it, all of this would be over. But the moment I finally got Saintontas to apologize, it wasn't accepted. And now Saintontas knows there is no reason to apologize to anybody anymore.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Oh my God, what? What's the question?
Bro, I have to say it because let me finish what I gotta say.
Yes.
Saintontas didn't apologize to him for comparing him to for liking children, and I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, and tell me what you think about this. If I say Tectone, right?
Yeah.
likes children and he hung out with Epstein, and I say I should have never said that Tectone hung out with Epstein. I'm sorry. But I never apologize for saying that you like children. I'm still leaving that statement there. When Saintontas dropped his apology on genocide, he basically said he went too far by saying or putting him in the same conversation as Mikey. He painted out Mikey as fucking Hitler. Bro, Mikey is like a Cabbage Patch Kid. Bro, Mikey ain't, bro, she ain't do shit to be pointed at like fucking Hitler, bro. His apology,
Maggie was what did Maggie do? I remember Maggie's in the
some
same
shit about
Discord that said
Lua and like some wrong
who's
numbers.
that guy who actually, like, for example, who's that guy who actually sucks? There's that one
Saintontas?
dude. No, not that guy. There's another guy. He's oh god, I forget his name. He sounds like a pussy. He's really good friends with Maggie. Um
I
oh
don't know the
fuck.
lore of all that before. Because
No,
remember, I
no,
came back late.
he plays Tower of Fantasy. Gateo. Gateo. Do you know Gateo?
I do know him from when I covered Tower of Fantasy. He was like the big Tower of Fantasy guy, yeah.
I wouldn't use the word big and Gateo in the
But
same
you know
sentence.
what I mean. Like he was
Um,
the bigger CC from Tower of Fantasy, so I do know him.
sure. I'm going to say this. I once again, I think Kate's done stupid shit. I think you've done stupid shit. The shit that you've done is like fucking nothing, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I know.
People can be mad at me for that. I don't care. Is what it is. You've always been good to me, and I always appreciate that. But St. Totas has been an incredibly good friend to me. I'm not going to lie. It's actually astounding how good of a friend he's been to me since day one. He's been very good, very, very, very good. And it's like absurd to a degree where in a time I thought I would have no friends, he never even, like, there was never even a doubt in my mind. Like, I mean, people like Brax, who I thought I'd be friends with
Yeah.
for forever. I mean, he fucked me. He fucked me hard, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
And so I understand that when people, and like, you'll never see this side of Santo does because we just have a level of rapport and understanding. Um, I really like the dude. I really do. Because in a time where I thought I would have nobody, he was like one of the first people to check in on me, bro. Like he's a good dude.
Okay, but let me ask, and I'm gonna ask you a favor, Tech. This is a very
Sure.
important favor that I'd ask you.
Yep.
I respect you, you respect me. If I ever do some shit that is out of line, check me. I don't need sympathy as a friend. I don't need you to bat for me. I need you to check me, bro. I need you to
Sure.
tell me, get your shit together. Stop being a fucking bitch. Stop being an asshole. What you're doing is too much, you motherfucker. Stop being dumb. Go get your dick sucked. Go for a walk. Go tell me something, bro. I
The
don't
thing
need that.
is that I for my friends,
Yeah.
I understand change comes from within. And no amount of what I say to you is going to motivate you. Mango, chill out, buddy. Can you sit? Oh boy, why are you barking? Sorry.
That's cool.
There, I've already said, like, I I have already done what I do to everybody, which is I have told everybody they're doing too much. It's way too much. Like, for example, tell me exactly what you want me to tell this guy that you think I haven't already told this guy.
Okay. Easy. First off, ask him if he thinks he's done anything wrong. And then ask him
Okay.
what he's done wrong. And then listen to his what he says. Because on stream he says he doesn't do anything wrong. He's in his mind, Tech. He's just arguing back. He's just answering people for what they say to him. You realize he's been doing this for months. I'm gonna give you another example. In the last like week and a half, there's been days where I don't upload about him or
Here,
stream. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a better idea.
Yeah.
Let's skip this conversation. What are you doing tomorrow at noon CST?
Like around this time?
Yeah,
Earlier? Yeah,
noon.
yeah.
Five and a half hours in the past.
Nothing. I mean, I can make time. Depends what you got.
Yeah, let me just get everybody on call.
You know how that's gonna. I'm always down. You know this, bro. I'm always down. You think this is gonna go down?
Yeah, I'm gonna moderate it right now. This is going nowhere.
Okay, by all means.
All right.
But once again, I feel that before you do that, and bro, I'm always down. I'm gonna be on there as soon as you start. Make sure you ask him those questions.
Sure. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it all out of the way. We'll get all this shit done. Tomorrow noon. I'm gonna make this shit happen. I'll see you then.
All right, brother. Have a good one. Good talk.
That's it. You too.
Yeah, we're definitely taking a break tomorrow, bro. I might hop off for a call with Techie, but if it's with this crazy ass bitch, I'm gonna say no. Yeah, no, I ain't getting on a call with her after those accusations. I'm good, bro. Yeah, no, that ain't happening. I ain't getting on a call with somebody that just accused me of like 4 different crimes in like 10 minutes. She accused me of like 4 different crimes in 10 minutes. I'm not getting on a call with that.